Rishus the Dayan, Rabbonim, our parents, grandparents, our great-grandmother Bubi, family and friends, and especially big welcome to those who have come from a further afield, Uncle Morris and Asha. Thank you for coming and being here tonight at this wonderful Simcha. Talking about tonight's Simcha and this Pidyan HaBen, I would first and foremost like to say a tremendous thank you from Racheli and myself to our dear parents yet again for the incredible hard work and time that was invested into making tonight the beautiful Simcha that it is. And of course our thank you is not just for tonight, but for every single day, the love, the care and the support that you show to us. And in Mitzvah Hashem, we should continue to be a source of nachas to all of you. B'shlach hoidah to Hashem, that we have the incredible zechus not only to have made a bris, but also now to be here, the Pidyan HaBen of our dear son, Shlome Tzvi. I would like to share an idea about Pidyan HaBen that I saw in the writings of Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky, the Emes Yaakov. And he asks two simple questions with regards to Pidyan HaBen. The pasuk at the end of Parashas Boy, talking about Pidyan HaBen, says, B'chol b'chor bonai efter, which means all of my firstborn sons I will redeem. And the Seforno on these words says, Kidei shehiyu mutorim ba'avodas chol. The Seforno says that we redeem the firstborn sons in order so that they should be permitted to be involved in mundane work. And the implication from the Seforno clearly is that before the son is redeemed, he's in a status of Kulei Kodesh. He's completely holy. And only now that the son has been redeemed is he mutar b'avodas chol, is he permitted to go and involve himself in mundane work. And if that is the case, ask the Emes Yaakov, what is the explanation to the minhag in Yisrael to make such a celebration and such a simcha? On the contrary, it seems as though he was yored b'madrega. It seems as though he's gone down a level. Before he was in a status of Kulei Kodesh, and only now he's permitted in avodas chol, in mundane work. So how do we understand what's going on here? And the second question that he asks is with regards to the nusach that we say by Pidyan HaBen. We know that by a bris, we say, Kishem shenichas lebris, kein yikones leTorah lechuppah lemasim tovim. And by Pidyan we say the same thing. Kishem shenichas lePidyan, kein yikones leTorah lechuppah lemasim tovim. But we add something. Before that we say, by Pidyan HaBen, v'yikonei zeh HaBen lechaim tovim leTorah leyirah shamayim. Why do we add this nusach? Why do we add this part that we don't say by a bris? And he answers both of those questions with the following idea. Many other people and religions believe that a person has a physical side, a guf, and a person has a neshama, a spiritual side, but there is no connection whatsoever between the two. If a person wants to feed his guf, so he has to be involved in physical things, eating, drinking, etc. A person wants to feed his neshama, so he's involved in spiritual things, and praying, learning, whatever it is. And on the contrary, if a person wants to grow spiritually, then he must cut himself off from physical pleasures by fasting, not getting married. The Torah, however, says completely the opposite. That the guf and the neshama, the physical part and the spiritual part that is inside a person, are very much connected together. And the whole tachlis of a person in this world, says the Emes Yaakov, is to be involved in avodas chol, is to be involved in mundane work, but to do it in a way that infuses kedusha into everything that he does, even those mundane things. And by doing so, man achieves his ultimate tachlis of elevating mundane into holy. Take, for example, someone has to go and work for parnasa, so he can view his parnasa as an opportunity purely to make money, to become rich, to get all the cover that comes with it. And so, if that's the case, then his work remains purely an avodas chol, a mundane work. Or a person can realize that he goes to work because he needs to work to be able to bring up a beautiful Jewish home. He sees work as an opportunity to make a Kiddush Hashem, an opportunity to use his skills to do chesed with other people. That is how a person is meant to be. That is achieving the ultimate, of infusing Kedusha, of taking something mundane and elevating it into something holy. And in fact, we see this idea in Shavuos itself. The Gemara Pesachim tells us that Shavuos, everyone agrees that Shavuos is meant to be a Yom Tov that's also lochem, for you. What does that mean? It means that on Shavuos, a person is meant to be involved in doing physical things and having a nice suda, eating, drinking. Why? Says the Gemara, because Yom Shadnitna B'y Torah. Do you know why you should be involved in these physical things for yourself? Because it was the day the Torah was given. So we can ask the obvious question. If the day the Torah was given on the contrary, you should be involved in only spiritual things, in learning and davening all day. We should be involved in physical activities. But the answer is the very same thing, that yes, it is no contradiction to the Torah to be involved in physical things. On the contrary, that is what a person is meant to do, but to do it in a way that infuses Kedusha into all of his actions and elevates everything that he does into something holy. And with this idea, Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky answers both of his questions. Yes, the Sforno says that when we redeem the firstborn, he now becomes permitted to be involved in mundane work. But that exactly is the cause of the celebration. The fact that he's gone from Kol HaKodesh to now being able to be involved in mundane work is the celebration, because now that person is able to achieve his tachlis. That child is able to go out and be involved as he has to be in avodas chol, but to infuse kedusha into everything that he does. But doing so is a difficult thing. To go out and to be involved in physical work, in avodas chol, it's a difficult thing. And to be able to do that and still remain on the right level and be able to infuse it with kedusha is a very hard thing. And therefore, by a pidyon, dafka by a pidyon, we add this phrase of Yikoni Ze'aben L'chaim Toivim Or because without this added bracha of Yerushalayim, then it's impossible for a person to do such a thing, to be able to go out there into the world, but be able to do it in the right way that infuses Kedusha into everything that he does. I mentioned at the bris that we have named our child Shlome Tzvi after his great-grandfather Shlome Tzvi Luknar Pidyan. And at the bris I mentioned many of the different qualities that Zayda had that we hope that in Mitzvah Hashem our Shlome Tzvi will also grow to have. But I think in mind of what I have said today about what Pidyan HaBen is all about, I think another quality comes to mind. Zayda was a person who every day was Kaveh Itim Torah, he learnt, and it was an incredible thing to see. But at the same time, he was also a man who spent many hours of the day in the office working, a lawyer by profession. But for Zayda, his work and his parnosa wasn't just making money. It was so much more than that. It was an opportunity to make a Kiddush Hashem, an opportunity to use his skills to do chesed. I remember when I was speaking to Zayda once, I told him that I'm also looking to study law. And he said to me, you know, sometimes people will come to you, they need a favor, and they can't afford or whatever, and you've got to do the chesed. You use your skills, you help them, and you don't charge them. And Zayda said, that's what I did sometimes on a number of occasions. That was Zayda, someone who in everything that he did, not just his learning, but even when he was involved in those physical things that he had to be involved in, he did it in a way that infused Kedusha into everything that he did. And therefore, it is a hope in Mitzvah Hashem that our son Shlome Tzvi, who now has had his pidyon, he is now mutter b'avodas chol. He is now permitted to be involved in mundane work. In Mitzvah Hashem, he should be able to do so in a way that infuses Kedusha into every single thing that he does, every aspect of his life, and thereby be a source of nachas to all of us.